What is up, Nuggets fans? Denver Nuggets fan 2 back here again, here to do another video. In this video, I'm going to give my thoughts and give my take on the Nuggets re-signing Nene and Arron Afflalo. I'm very happy to have both these guys back. I was very surprised that we were able to actually get both these guys back. I wasn't really confident at all that we were going to get Nene back, and it was kind of worrying me that it took so long to get a deal done with Afflalo, but regardless of that, our front office was patient and was able to get two nice deals done here with Nene and Afflalo. There was tons of reports out there that Nene had a bunch of suitors. He apparently had meetings with the Nets, the Rockets, the Pacers. All of them wanted him, but Nene decided to stay put here in Denver and sign a 5-year, $67 million deal with us. Huge to have Nene back. Obviously, it's a really big deal for us. I was very worried that he was going to leave, but it's great to see Nene show loyalty to this city and this fan base and this organization and stay put here in Denver. I was at the fan scrimmage last Friday night getting a look at the team for the first time this year, and when Nene came out, he got a standing ovation. It was just a great moment. Nene's a great guy. He means a lot to this city and this team, and it's really great to have him back. I've always said, though, about Nene is that I think he's a very good center. He's a top 5 center in a league that really only has one truly elite center in Dwight Howard. That's not a knock on Nene. There's just not a lot of great centers in this league besides Dwight Howard. But I still think Nene was worth the deal. I think it's a pretty solid deal for us. Obviously, we had advantage over every other team that was pursuing Nene because we could offer him that 5th year, and I think that was probably the kicker that got Nene to resign with us. And like I said, the deal is worth $67 million. Nene's going to average about $13.4 million a year from this contract, and it's great to have him back. He's definitely a big part of our team, and without him, we had a very thin front court. So it's huge to get him back. You look at what Nene did last season after the Carmelo trade. He averaged about 13 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, about a block and a steal per game. Obviously, those numbers are solid, but they're going to have to go up with Nene signing a deal worth $67 million. And I think Nene knows that. We all know Nene is a guy that really, at times, has not living up to his potential, and at times has played soft, if you will. And I think we need to see a more aggressive, more assertive Nene, and he's shown that at times. But I'd love to see Nene be more consistent. And I love, the 8 rebounds last year. That's great. Averaging that after the trade. Nene, that's where he needs to be, about 8-9 rebounds a game. He can even be a 10 rebound guy game, to be honest with you. Just with his skill set and his athleticism, he definitely can be that. And I think Nene knows that. He's going to continue to improve, and he's got a shot to really be a go-to guy for us offensively this season. Obviously, those were his numbers last year. Only through 25 games after the trade. Now he's going to have a full 66-game season to play with this new group of guys and kind of be a focal point of this team offensively. And re-signing Nene is a pretty significant deal for guys like Danilo Gallinari and Ty Lawson. Obviously, we all know that we're going to need breakout years from both those guys this season to be a successful team and if we want to make a deep playoff run. And obviously, Gallinari is going to have a huge offensive role this year for us. He's going to probably be our go-to guy offensively. But re-signing Nene kind of takes the pressure off him in a way, and I think that's a pretty significant deal for a young guy like Gallinari that's going to have a lot of pressure on him this year to be our go-to guy. Nene's one of those guys that if we're struggling offensively, you can just dump the ball down in the post and Nene's going to get a basket for you, and he can get the offense going in that way. And just Nene's skill set in general is really valuable. I mean, we all know about his athleticism. We all know about his ability to finish at the rim. He's a great dunker, and he's a guy that has got a very improving offensive game. He's got a very good underrated post game offensively, and he's a lot better defender than people give him credit for. Nene is one of the best big men in the NBA in terms of his ability to get steals, and obviously he does a lot of things for us offensively and defensively. I think a lot of people underrate Nene's defense, and like I said, if we wouldn't have got him back, we would have been very thin in our front court. And it's a really big deal that we get him back because now it kind of shores up our front court. We get a guy, kind of a go-to guy there down the post for us once again. And Nene's obviously going to be expected to have a bigger year with the contract he signed. 13-8 is not going to be acceptable for Nene this year. Or even 14-7 is not going to be acceptable for Nene this year. I would really like to see Nene average about 16, 17 points a game. 8, 9, 10 rebounds a game. And I think Nene has the capability of that. He's got the potential to do that. We all know at times Nene obviously hasn't lived up to his potential here in Denver, but he's got a great opportunity this year to be the go-to guy for our team. and take some pressure off guys like Gallinari and Lawson, and really have a big year and have an all-star year. So it's great to have Nene back. I think it's a huge deal to have him back. He does a lot of things for us offensively and defensively. Rare to find a guy as big as Nene that runs the court like him. I mean, he's so great in the fast break, and his ability to run the floor is very valuable, and it's going to be great to see that here once again in Denver. It's great to have him back. So huge deal for the Nuggets in getting Nene back. As for Arron Afflalo, apparently we were able to re-sign him last night to a 5-year, $43 million deal. A lot of Nuggets fans and a lot of media are saying that we overpaid Afflalo. Personally, I don't think we did. I think Afflalo deserves every penny he got. You all know he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. That's invaluable nowadays. You can't have enough wings on your team that are able to guard on the perimeter and be very good perimeter defenders. And Afflalo is one of the best in the league. And now that you have him, you got Corey Brewer. That's a nice 1-2 punch in terms of our defense along the perimeter. And we all know what Afflalo brings offensively. He's improved every year. He's a lot better at getting to the rim, and he's a lot better finisher around the rim than people give him credit for. He's a very smart player. Obviously, getting his leadership back for a young team like this is crucial. Like I said, his leadership, his presence defensively, that's huge to get back, especially with this young group of guys that we have. And Afflalo's, obviously a great three-point shooter. That's huge to get him back there. And like I said, he's got an ever-improving offensive game. No one gives him credit for his ability to finish at the rim and his ability to get to the rim. And I think Afflalo's going to have a big year offensively. Last year averaged about 13 points per game. I think this season we can easily see Afflalo average 15, 16 a game. I mean, he's got that capability. We all know what he brings to the table in terms of his work ethic and his defense. He is by far our best defensive player, and to lose him would have really been a big hit to us. So it's great to get Afflalo back as well. And re-signing Afflalo also gives us a ton of depth now at the 2 and the 3 spot. I mean, you look at the wings we have on our team now. We got Arron Afflalo, Rudy Fernandez, Corey Brewer, Danilo Gallinari, and Jordan Hamilton. I mean, there's a lot of depth there at that, the 2 and the 3 spot, and with our wing players, and that's also going to be, I think, something we can use to our advantage. I mean, we got a really deep team once again this year, and as much as I like Rudy Fernandez, I like adding him. I think he's a very good player, and it's great to have him here. I like him a lot more coming off the bench than I do him starting. So that's also why it's good to get Afflalo back, because now he obviously will be our starting 2 guard, and you now have Rudy Fernandez coming off the bench being your 6th or 7th man. That's a big deal for us. So it's great to have Afflalo back. It's great to have Nene back. Like I mentioned before, all the things they bring to the table, it would have sucked to lose all those. It really would have sucked to lose both these guys, and it really would have hurt our team in a vast amount of areas. So it's really great to have them both back. I'm really ecstatic, to have Nene and Arron Afflalo back. Welcome back to both of them, and I think it's a big deal to lock both those guys up for the next 5 years each. So big deal for our team. I really like the makeup of our team now. I think it definitely has the making of being a big year for us this season. I think really the depth on this team is unbelievable, and we're going to be a very deep team, and we're going to be a dangerous team, and getting these 2 guys back is a big reason for that. So that's my video, guys. Leave me a comment below with what you think about getting Nene and Afflalo back, and I'll see you next time, probably for a game recap for our first game of the season, which will be December 26th, day after Christmas, against the Dallas Mavericks. We open up our preseason schedule tonight, where we play the Phoenix Suns in the Pepsi Center. Unfortunately, the game won't be on TV, so I won't be able to catch it, and no one else will unless you're going to the game. But it's just great to have basketball back. Great to have the Nuggets back, and I think it'll be a good year. So thanks for the support, guys, and as always, go Nuggets.